Right, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to be working on the TZR125. So there has been a little bit of progress on this. It's actually back on its wheels now. I did film that, but I wasn't happy with the footage, so I'll turn the camera around and show you what stage we're at now with the TZR. And I also want to be getting the headlight surround bracket on, get the clocks fitted and the ignition barrel. So let me just turn the camera around, show you what stage we're at, and then we'll start getting this fitted back to the bike. Let's get started. Right, and as you can see, we've got the wheels back on now with the forks, so it's starting to take shape now. It's actually easier for us to move it around now, so I can get this bike off the lift and I'll be able to get back on with the Piaggio NRG. It just makes it easier because it is a bit of a lump nut frame to try and keep moving it about. At least I can wheel it off, wheel that one on, and we're vice versa. So these wheels are only fitted on temporarily. As you can see, we haven't got the discs fitted yet, so this wheel still will be coming off, but I just want us to say, wanted just to get it so I can wheel it around the polytunnel. And we've got the rear shoes fitted in there, ready to go. We haven't got to say, it's just loosely fitted on, so we can move it around. But as you can see, it's starting to take shape now. It's nice to see it back on its wheels with its bars on it, and this is what we're going to be getting on today fitted with, hopefully. And I've got a brand new headlight in this box, so hopefully we can get this fitted, the clocks fitted, the ignition, and we'll try and get this front light fitted as well. Also, I'm going to be stripping all this tape off because people have stuck some of that flexi stuff around there. I can't remember what they call that now. You'll all be shouting at the screen telling me. So we're going to be taking all that off. We'll be taking all this tape off, taking it back to bare wires, and we're going to retape it because I've got some tape there to do that. And I've also bought some new ends, so all these ends are going to be getting chopped off, apart from the blocks because they seem to be alright, but all these bullet connectors, they've got bits of corrosion in there. So I say I bought a new connector pack, and that's coming with the proper clear sleeves on as well, so they'll not be bare like that. So everything will be protected. We'll get that wrapped, and that loom will be good to go. Right then, let me just bring this bike down a bit because it's a bit too high there. Let me just move you back a bit so I don't knock the camera. So we'll just bring this down a little bit. That will do for now. So we'll get you in there. And what I'm going to be doing first is I'm going to be sticking the ignition barrel back on, and you just stick that on, and it comes with two 10mm bolts that just bolt up from the underneath. So get my socket on there, and we'll just start that off. Not too mad, just get it so it bites, and then we'll get the other bolt on. Get that started, then we can nip that right up. So, yeah, I've still got the engine case to send off to get vapor blasted. And as you may notice, this is the original case in here. So I did buy a new lock set, and that's the new one that come with it. But it had the different plug on it, wasn't the same, and the internals were different. So what I did actually manage to do is I managed to take my old cap off, because obviously I didn't have a key for this. This is the reason why we're changing the locks. And I managed to take the gubbins out of this barrel and fit it into my new casing, and it all works now with the new key. So it's just making the best of the situation that we're in. I've retaped that as well, so that's looking good. What we'll do now is we'll get the headlight bracket fitted. Right, so the way this gets fitted on is it just bolts on to these two brackets here. Just put that up there for now because we don't need that. So I'm just going to get my two bolts ready. So just make sure you line your stuff up correctly. So we can just get that on there. we'll get this bolt started. Sorry about my hand being in the way, but nothing I can do about that. So we'll get that one just in. We'll get the other one in to pull it straight. There we go. You might hear a bit of background noise. We've got Soppy out there, he's doing the patio. We'll just get that up there like that. So as you can see, that's fully fitted now. We will get the clocks on. I should have put the clocks on maybe before that, might have been a bit easier. You just drop your cable down there, stick them in the bung there, and these again are just a couple of 10mm bolts. Make sure your ignitions and barrels sitted fully home. What we'll do now is we'll get this new headlight out. So here's the headlight, and it's come with new wiring, so I'll be able to put many new connectors on that, so we'll just leave that off for a minute. We need a Phillips screwdriver, which will be your JIS, just to take these two screws out here, and that should open the back casing up. There we go. All the bolts just fell out, that's alright. So let me just find the bolts for this and then I'll come back to you. Right then, so I've got my two 10mm bolts. So we'll just stick that through there. We'll just get the other side in just to hold it up. Right, so we'll get these nipped up. Right, so we've got that in there now. So I'm just going to stick this in now. Obviously we ain't got the wiring loom, so we're not worried about connecting these up yet. So we'll just push that in there. And we'll get our two screws. We've got one there. And obviously this headlight will want adjusting at a later date for the right angle, but it's just another bit to the puzzle. So that is looking excellent. So if you can agree, that is the difference, 100 times better. So that can go under the worktop, and here it is from the top angle. These are a bit dirty again, they will want cleaning up where they've just been sitting about. So I'm really happy with that. And so I need to get that rubber just to hold that down properly. We'll get that sorted. Right then, so what we're going to do now is we're going to stick the oil tank back on. And again, that's just a couple of 10mm bolts. Just wind that in. You don't go too mad. And then we'll just go around the other side and put the coolant tank on. Right, so if I remember rightly, this coolant tank sits just up here. So we'll get that one in. And then this one goes just along there. we go, just nip that up. It's not got to be crazy tight. And there we go, that's both tanks back on now. Right, so we'll just get this grab rail on. Just get these 4 screws started off. So the main 2 things that I need to do is get the engine vapor blasted and then obviously get it rebuilt, and the other big thing is getting the fairings prepared for paint and getting the decal set arranged for it, and then we'll get that done. But I think it's only them are the 2 main jobs now, sorting the engine out for the rebuild and getting the panels prepped. All the other things are just little tinkering bits that we're doing now. So right then, so now what we're going to be putting on is the first part of the rear mudguard. So we'll just bring that up through this way. There we go. Just get your 4 bolts all lined up, ready. So I'm just going to fasten these bolts up. And there is only 4 of these. One. So as you can see, it's really taking shape now. All these bits can go back on, they won't have to come back off again. They're not going to be in the way for the rest of the rebuild for getting the engine or the sprocket on or nothing. So yeah, if I'm only putting the bits on that I know that I can leave on, that haven't got to be messed about with. So I'll need to sort the sprocket out and the chain, because this is the chain that come off of it here, look. So it has seen better days, and the sprocket is just in here as well. It doesn't look too bad, to be fair. There's not a lot of wear on it, so we might get away with giving that a good clean up and a reuse. So what we'll see. There's not a lot left in the parts department really. We've got the front caliper to rebuild. We've got the foot hangers, they can get refurbished and they can go back on. We've got the side panel hangers, they can also be powder coated. We've got the rud up there to sort out. We need to give that a good clean and then just powder coat these side brackets. Rear mudguard, obviously that's just a clean down being plastic, and that will be able to go on. Need to source some new indicators, and yeah, that's all what we've really got left for the TZR, barring the engines and the fairing. Obviously we've still got the handle controls up there, the light switches, brake reservoir, that's all been rebuilt, so in theory that can all go on. But I think what we're going to do is leave it here for this little video today. We did stick some Michelins on there, so I didn't want to go for no budget tyres really. I really want to get the wiring loom on next, I think. I say I've just ordered the new connectors for all that, so they can all be stripped off. I will cut them right at the end. You do get a little bit of play with these wires, so it will be alright. We're not going to be pulling up short anywhere. As I say, we'll leave it here for this little TZR update. Not a lot really left to do on it. I say it's just the fairings and the engine really. That's the main 2 things. The other bits are just little bits just to bolt on here and there. Another couple of hours of bolting bits on, and then we're just at the stage where it's just the engine and fairings, as I keep saying. So I'm going to leave it here for this little video. Also, if you haven't already, if you want to check out my Amazon wish list, there's a link in that for down below. that whatever comes off of that goes straight back into the channel, helps me with rebuilding all these motorcycles that we've got, not just the motorcycles, the lawnmowers, the car projects, all that stuff. On that note, we'll wrap it up. Until next time, we'll see you about.